All right, so here we are with the announcements. As I mentioned, we are a hybrid community that meets online what's this blue thing? I don't know, the green thing, every Sunday morning and in person the first Sunday of the month. So if you would like to join us in person, there's the address. And so the next Sunday we will meet is in April, but always you can find us on Zoom. You can text presence. At least the green thing is gone away. You can text presence to 719-582-4417. And you can also find us on Facebook. If you would like to join a wonderful virtual meditation every Thursday morning from 8 to 8:20, please email one of our contemplative practitioners, Lisa Tenney, at the Gmail below, and she will send out a weekly Zoom link and reminder. It's a great way to center yourself and get your day started. Every third Thursday of the month at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, meditation is a must. A Music Divina with Kendrick Lamar is offered by the Black Center for Spiritual Imagination, Black Lives and Contemplation, and Awakenings is a co-affiliate sponsor there. It is an opportunity, again, for you to find stillness with meditations is a must. Using a musical meditation, it's a wonderful opportunity to maybe expand how you view meditation because who would have thought that you could meditate with rap music and Kendrick Lamar, but it is a unique and beautiful experience. So the registration is in our group me as well as our newsletter. Prayer as Resistance, Howard Thurman as a Spiritual Guide in Time of Crisis is being offered April 25th by E. Trey Clark. You've heard him speak here a couple of times. It's a virtual meeting, so all is welcome. You can scan the QR code. It's hosted by the Center for Contemplative Leadership at Princeton Theological Seminary and co-sponsored by Awakenings. And if you use the code -10, you'll receive a 10% discount. Another great offering from another contemplative practitioner that has blessed our community. So Tia has also, in her speaker truth communication series, referred to Howard Thurman's book quite often. So we are familiar with the work. So if you want to expand on that knowledge, please join on April 25th. Yay, we are on YouTube. So help us grow by subscribing today. Look for this, our symbol Awakenings, and hit the subscribe button. Once we hit 50 subscribers, which I think we are already there, we intend to eventually go live on YouTube. So that will be a place where everyone can find us more convenient. So please, to stay in the know and have all of our teachings of what's happening through 2026 and beyond, please sign up for our YouTube channel. With that being said, please join the Awakenings Media and Hybrid Gathering team to help support our hybrid experience. We're gathering small teams of 5 to 7 people to support this work throughout the year. Most roles will only need 1 to 3 hours of support per month. We need a Zoom room host. That's just someone to admit participants from the waiting room, support a welcoming online space, and occasionally in the meeting. So someone that can help people enter, um, keep up with the chats, what's going on in the chat, just so that will ease the burden of our pastor with all that she has to do. Also, YouTube support to lightly edit recordings and upload talks to our YouTube channel, and a community photographer on first Sunday to capture occasional moments from gatherings. We're fine if you use your iPhone or your Android. We just need someone to support us, and also a hybrid AV tech for first Sundays to help set up Mevo cameras, sound checks, and lighting for our hybrid gatherings. If you're comfortable with technology, media, or simply enjoy helping things run smoothly behind the scenes, we would definitely love your help. So fill out the interest form using this QR code. Also, if you know someone that will benefit our community and may be interested in joining and could also be a support, feel free to share this information with them as well. Tia has created this guide to moving through biblical hindrances towards spiritual growth. It's practical tools to help you move through biblical contradictions, hindrances, and questions. Sign up for our weekly newsletter, or you can scan the QR code and you'll receive this guide, and you'll also start to receive our newsletter if you opt in. And we definitely can use this guide at this time. Communicate in real time with our community. Join the Awakenings group on GroupMe. There we share relevant info to our communities. There's different rooms to break out for needs that you have, prayer requests, announcements, how we can celebrate you or be supported, discover ways to collab, as well as offer and discover resources. So just text me, GroupMe to this number below, or you can sign the QR code. Um, Also in GroupMe every Sunday. The Zoom link is posted there if you're looking for the Zoom link and don't want to run to your email. Anytime we have any events, it's there. So it's a great opportunity to stay connected to the community in real time. If you have an announcement you'd like to share, send the details, including any graphics or images, to info@awakeningsmovement.com, and we will make sure it's included. Now we will move on to our community builder. So, since it is the beginning of spring equinox, um, I would say that we can talk about, well, some of you may know or not know. I didn't grow up eating sandwiches and stuff like that. That was not considered a meal. It was a snack because that's just what my grandmother said. So that's what we did. I just had hot food all the time, all year round, even in the summertime. So, the community builder today is like, what's your favorite like summertime light meal? Like, I want to hear about your sandwiches, your salads, your wraps, your tacos, anything. Like, give me some ideas as well as, share some fond memories of maybe something cool that you like to eat, a cool like even salads was not considered a meal for us. Like it was a side thing. So I'm just curious, anyone have something they would like to share? What did you enjoy? Or what did your family enjoy? And even cold soups. So
Good
I'll say,
morning.
oh, go
Okay,
ahead.
I'll share. Growing up in an African household, eating outside food was not um,
See?
something my parents felt at the time that we can engage in. So my mother would make sardines and make fish because I can still smell the stench of it. And she'd just make this type of stew with some plantains, boiled plantains, and say, "This is your meal." However, that's what we had to eat. We couldn't deviate. I couldn't make a sandwich. I had to eat what was on the table. So there's been many times where I just said, "I'm good. I'll just go to sleep and eat." So it was some type of sardine, fish, concoction with onions and tomatoes. And it just had this horrible, horrible stench. But they'll eat it up like slop. Like, oh, this is so good. So anyway, yeah.
Does she still make it now?
Mm-hmm. I don't. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because it's spring, so that's why I'm asking. And I put sardines on my salad yesterday. People that grew up eating sardines and they don't have a good memory, they're like no to sardines. Because my mom, I'll make her a salad. I was like, "You want some sardines?" She's like, "No." But thank you, Rebecca, for sharing that. Brooke says she can't stand sardines either. Good morning, Charlotte. Good morning, Carlos. Anyone else? Well, I'll just say my family finally got fancy, and our sandwich of choice now is like a club sandwich with turkey and cheese and on the nice roll and all that kind of stuff. So if I make a sandwich, that's probably like my go-to sandwich. And as I said, I started making salads where I put a lot of vegetables on it, and sometimes I'll add sardines if I have them. But
No, I feel Rebecca for sure. But like Rebecca said, she grew up in an African household and she didn't like the food. Rebecca, what happened? So I'm curious about whether or not you prefer American food or like, the food of your parents. But anyways, because I'm in Massachusetts, and it's spring, I'm actually like craving these lobster rolls. When I first got here, like, well, before I even got here, my family, my grandma and, her brother was like, "Oh, Ma Massachusetts, you got to get a lobster roll, got to get a lobster roll." And so, but they didn't like get one, but then I tried one in Boston and it was way overpriced and it was like tasted like rubber. Like I'm like, my dad can make a crab roll in Texas better than this one. So, but yeah, I think now that it's spring, I'm willing to try one again. But yeah, still doing my research to find out which one to go to.
thank you, Brooke. Lobster rolls are pretty good if they're made properly. And I can't think of the name because there's some company that they won on Shark Tank, and like where I live, they have locations all over and they travel. So maybe you can look for their
No,
food
yeah,
truck
I
or
know
something.
exactly what you're talking about. Like they're here, like in a nearby town. And I'm like tempted to go try them out today. But yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it can feel overpriced because it is a pricey sandwich, and you get this little bitty thing for $30.
Yeah.
But yeah,
So
yes, yeah. So yeah, I get it because you can do cold, hot. But yeah, lobster rolls does remind me. I'm think of summer or spring. Anyone else?
I like a good pasta salad in the summer or spring.
I can't hear you. Who's chatting? You sound far away.
Oh,
Oh, yeah. Come to the mic, girl. Come closer to the mic.
Sorry, I had it on the speaker thing. Can you hear me
Hmm.
now?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I said I like a good pasta salad in the summer or springtime.
Ooh, I need to add that to my repertoire. So what do you
Yeah.
put on your pasta salad?
Um, I use my mom's recipe. And we do like an Italian vinaigrette, and we put whatever in there. Sometimes we do a lot of like we'll do some chicken or shrimp and a lot of veggies. Tomatoes, stuff like that. And then we put like Parmesan cheese, and yeah, it's delicious. Look, I'm wanting it right now, talking about it.
It sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I never think about that because that's something good for the summer that keeps you cool and
Yeah.
easy to make and because hot stuff, we don't need to be hot. Thanks for that reminder. Anyway,
Yeah, I'll go. Good morning. I like some good barbecue. And I was telling a friend, we're both from Dallas, but we live up here in New York. And the first few years, it took years to find like a good barbecue place. So I like now I like a nice like dry rub. And I've been converted to an Alabama white sauce, which is almost like a vinegar based kind of sauce. But yeah, I like that. And then I also like a watermelon and feta salad. Those are in like a little, I think it's mint or basil, I forget, and some purple onions. So yeah.
okay. So
sorry
she
about
is,
yeah,
oh,
what's going
okay.
on. I had to switch to my phone. We're just having technical difficulties today, but
You're
definitely,
beautiful.
definitely
I'm gonna have to look into this white sauce for the barbecue. That's curious about that. I do like the dry rub. So, hey, all these good ideas, and I am still in Texas and near Austin where there's a lot of barbecue options. So I need to keep that in mind too. So, if we don't have anything else, someone may have to share their screens for me to do his contemplative moment. Look at Rebecca on top of it. And now we'll move over to the blessing and the contemplative moment with me. Thank you, everyone, for participating. I hope we all got wonderful ideas of what we can have for our summertime, spring and summer refreshments and nourishment. So he's going to do the blessing first and then the contemplative moment, Rebecca. All right, I'll turn it over to me. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Andrea, and good morning, everyone. All that sounds great coming from the East Coast, born in the East Coast, so I remember a lot of um, those summer blessings and deliciousness. And so our blessing today comes from Zechariah 4:10. May God guide your steps today, reminding you that every small effort carries purpose, releasing the pressure to do it all while trusting Him to multiply what you begin. The blessing isn't something that person A gives person B that person B doesn't already have. Person A ignites within the person B the blessing. So, our blessing today, grace over grind.
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 Grace over grind. And Reed, could you please repeat that beautiful entrance into that? Thank you.
Oh, yes, ma'am. Zechariah chapter 4, verse 10. May God guide your steps today, reminding you that every small effort carries purpose, releasing the pressure to do it all while trusting Him to multiply what you begin.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. All right. And as we move into our next contemplative moment of prayer and presence, seeing beyond what presses your eyes. Psalms 119, verse 18. Open my eyes to see the wonderful truths in your instructions. In this season, our eyes carry a heavy load. They absorb headlines, images of suffering, hurried faces, expectations, comparisons, and constant motion. Much of what we see demands reaction, judgment, or defense. Visio Divina invites us into a different way of seeing. Not the seeing that overwhelms, but the seeing that heals. It is prayer through vision, a sacred pause where God gently restores the eyes of our hearts. Here, we do not strain to interpret or analyze. We simply receive. Receive truth, receive beauty, receive the quiet presence of the holy amid the noise. So let's prepare our hearts. Releasing our eyes have carried. Before we see clearly, we must rest. So I'd like everyone to sit at with ease. Let your feet rest gently on the ground. Place your hands open and relaxed in your lap, or a posture of release rather than control. Close your eyes softly, or allow them to rest on a sacred image nearby. Take a deep breath in, hold it tenderly for a moment, then release it softly. As you breathe out, imagine lying down. The images, concerns, and pressures your eyes have carried. With each breath, allow your spirit to grow lighter, settling into the presence of God, where seeing no longer demands effort. Lord, just as you revealed your heart through dreams and symbols to Joseph, quiet the noise before our eyes and open our hearts now. Help us see not what pressures us, but what you gently revealing. In this sacred stillness, may we receive what our souls need most. As you breathe, notice the nearness of God, closer than your own breath. There's nothing to prove, nothing to fix, nothing to perform. Simply be. An image may begin to rise. It could be a picture, a memory, a color, a word, or a quiet stirring within. Do not search. Do not force meaning. Just notice. What are your eyes inviting you to see that brings peace rather than pressure? What feels gentle instead of urgent? What feels true instead of loud? Remain here. Trust that the Spirit reveals what your eyes alone cannot hold. What might this vision symbolize in your journey? What truth is being offered beneath the surface? Is there a grace waiting, a release, a reminder, a step towards healing? What is God allowing you to see differently today? Heavenly Father, you know all that our eyes have witnessed, the beauty and the burden alike. Open the eyes of our hearts to your steady presence. Help us carry what you have revealed into a world that often demands more than we can give. May your spirit move gently within us, restoring our sight, awakening us to the beauty, anchoring us in the truth, and teaching us how to see with love. All right, so let's carry this sacred site into the world. With a deep breath, a grateful breath, begin to return. Wiggle your fingers and toes. Feel the ground steady beneath you. Take one final breath in thanksgiving and gently open your eyes. As you return, may you carry this gift of holy seeing, eyes that notice grace, hearts that resist haste, and vision shaped by the pressure, but by peace. Amen.
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 Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Mead, for that wonderful contemplative moment to bring us centered into this space. And all of us today are in for a special treat because Rebecca is going to be our truth communicator. And Rebecca has been a part of this community for a very long time since the inception. And I don't know if she's truth communicated before, but here she is today, um, being brave and courageous and offering us some of her wisdom in only the way that Rebecca can do so in her creativity, fun, joy, and laughter. So, Rebecca, I'm so glad that you're here today, and I'm excited to hear what you are going to share with us. So, I'll turn it over to you.
Wow. Good morning. I need you to say that every day when I walk into the classroom so the kids can receive me in such a way where they know they're about to have a good time versus those grunts and oh my gosh, she's doing it again type of look. So thank you, thank you, thank you so much. My name is Rebecca Baffour, and I am going to share a couple of things with y'all this morning. Mr. Mead, thank you so much for that verse in Zechariah. And then also the truth, the not the, excuse me, the blessing, grace, and not grind. Then the verse, then the contemplative moment. It just feeds right into what I'm going to be sharing this morning. So thank you for that great setup. Thank you, everyone, for being here this morning. Andrea, thank you for hosting, as well as Lisa. Thank you for also helping as well, letting people in. So, our mission, we equip change makers with tools to look within and actively respond to daily life from a centered place. As you can tell, I'm kind of nervous. I have truth communicated before, but that's maybe a few years ago. So I took a kind of a hiatus because I'm like, man, Pastor Tia really goes through a lot to put it together. And I was like, ooh, it's interesting to walk in her shoes. Our core values is connection, inclusiveness, and love. Our vision is to serve as a global community using contemplative spirituality to heal, renew, and inspire. And the title of this journey that I'm about to take you on is called Deepening the Well of Truth. And I've been playing with this title for maybe 4 days. So I landed on this. So get pen and paper, take a couple of notes, um, whatever leads you. So my intention is to create space to pause, release the weight of old stories, others' perceptions, and breathe in the unknown. The flow, suffocating, surrender, the line in the truth. This is a 2-part series, so you will see me again next Sunday. Next Sunday will be quite interesting. So let's start with suffocating. This is how I have been for the last 4 years. You are strong, and this is what I get. You're so strong and amazing. Push through, you got this. And this is me pushing through. So if you've ever seen me on a Sunday, I also serve communion. And so I pop in, take care of whatever needs to be taken care of, and then I pop out. And that's what I'm always doing. I'm always moving. I'm never pausing. I'm just pushing through. And so when someone says you're amazing and you got this, I'm just like, really? Because this is how I look. And then I start to feel my hair. I'm like, am I losing hair? Like what's going on? So because I'm more than a teacher. I am a coach. I coach track, I coach cheerleading, and sometimes I coach people. And so I was constantly exhausted, always moving and never pausing. I began to lose the ability to recognize God's truth in my life. So I would fill my days with noise, tasks, responsibilities, and expectations until I could no longer hear what God needed me to hear. So I'm in and out of meetings. Literally, I'll have 2-3 meetings going on Zoom. I love Zoom. Then I can have practice where I have either my cheerleaders are practicing or my track girls are practicing. And then I have 2 meetings going back to back. Then I have a principal because I'm not only am I a coach, I'm also the department head of the science department. And also that go-to person that if there's an issue, everybody always comes to me. And I'm like, yes, I got you. What do you need me to do? And my plate is I'm always overfilling it. Like, I'm like, okay, I gotta grind. I'm not in grace, but I'm just grinding. And it's interesting because I was sharing some of my responsibilities with a friend, and she was sharing it with her partner, and her partner was like, is she the only teacher at the school? And I'm not the only teacher at the school, but because I do things so well, the assumption is she can handle everything. And that's not how God wants us to live, right? So I ran across this verse. So for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you, not to harm you, plans to give you hope in the future. And I'm like, what? Because right now I'm grinding. Right now I am taking on this responsibility. I'm taking on that responsibility. I'm trying to live out an old story that I haven't detoxed yet. Because I feel like it's been ingrained. So it's like I need to get like one of those ice picks to kind of pick that old story where I have to keep proving I'm good enough. And so I'm not listening to anything. I'm just like grinding. So before I surrendered, I had a couple of things happening to where, because of all of my grinding, it was impacting my body to where my ankles were swelling up to where it was hard to put a shoe on. My knee started inflaming. Like one day I woke up and it's like I couldn't walk. My shoulders was so intense to where I couldn't, with pain and stiffness, I couldn't move to the left and I couldn't move to the right. because I was just carrying so much on me. And I'm like, oh, I gotta take care of this. I gotta do this because I cannot let anybody down. And I don't know if anybody have ever experienced being in a position where you're taking care of everything. Like you can't drop the ball, like I'm just juggling. And so one evening, I was in the midst of another meeting. I just finished track practice. I just got off the call with the parent. I just finished talking to my principal about a decision that she was sharing with me, about her a decision she made that she was sharing with me. And then I was also the like kind of the principal's like confidant. She was sharing so much with me, and I'm like, ooh. And I'm like, I can't disappoint her. I can't disappoint anybody. So I'm in this meeting, and all of a sudden, I had beads. I was creating something for, I think, no, I was finishing up an experiment. And so I didn't put my beads up. So I remember that night. It was another late night. I literally don't leave my classroom until about 9:30, depending on what night it is. But this is how much I'm working. My days start at 6:30, 6:30, 5:30, 6:30. That's when I start. And I don't end till about 9:30, depending again on the day. And so I'm in my classroom and all these beads just fall all over the place. And then I put my hand on I put my hand on some stand, and then my laptop dropped. My MacBook dropped. And I was like, and then as I pick up the laptop, I trip over my feet. I'm like, well, I'll be darned. And right then and there, I just started crying. And I was like calling out to God. I was like, are you serious? I was like, are you serious? And I had to get myself together because again, I had to hop on my call. And I was just like, I was done. Like when I say I was done, I was done. And I just kind of sat there and just listening to this meeting because if some of y'all don't know me, I love learning, and I just been accepted into two programs back to back, one for AI and one for computer science. And so, and then I'm also having to teach, eighth grade science, and it's a testing subject, and I'm the department head. So, as you can see, I have a lot of hats that I'm carrying, and I was just like, I was going back to this verse here. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope in the future. And then I'm here crying out because everything it's not lining up. And then on top of that, because I was so busy, I lost out on a scholarship opportunity. And I had found out that night. And I was just like, because I missed the deadline. And I was just like, I just like threw my hands up. I was done. And so then I started to ask, I said, well, God, do you really know the plans for me? Because right now I'm just grinding and I'm not moving with grace. And I don't want to drop the ball, even though I dropped one of my balls or responsibilities. But I'm in this space with God, like, what are we doing? Like, if you know the plans that you have for me, then why am I moving in such a way where I feel like I have to take on everything and do everything? So then we go, then we get into the truth, the lie and the truth. So again, I've been operating through the lens of old stories. And because I've been operating through the lens of old stories, I've had to sit with myself and to kind of think about, okay, my health is being impacted. My thought patterns right now have left me drained and uncertain. So it was making it hard for me to make sound decisions. And this became the root of my weakened discernment. Like I could no longer discern a lot of things anymore. It's like I was moving with fumes. And I don't know if anybody's ever been in a car where you had no gas, but you still make it to your location. And that's how I was doing. That was me. I was still showing up at different locations, taking care of the responsibilities, making sure everything was taken care of, but I was empty. There was nothing. Um, there was nothing in me, and so I had to retreat because I'm like, oh, this job's not about to take me out. These kids are not about to take me out. And I remember I had like a aha moment, but it still didn't shift the way I was moving. It still didn't shift the way I was handling responsibilities. It just, I just kept having these little aha moments, but nothing was shifting. And so then I think it literally was on a Friday. And I was still in my classroom. And this came like, trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not to your own understanding. And I was just sitting in my classroom, kind of going over this verse in my head. Not lean to your own understanding. I'm like, Lord Jesus, here we go. I'm leaning to my own understanding. I'm not trusting God to do the things he said he was going to do because he already has the plans for me. But it's that trust factor. That trust factor, I'm like, I've been done so dirty in life, and I'm like, wait a minute, but God and people are two different things, two different entities, but I kind of meshed them together to where I was treating God as if God was a person and not spirit. Because see, God is love, and God doesn't hold anything, just loves. And so I had to think about the lies I was telling myself or what I was still holding on to. And so I sat down and I created this T chart because I've been doing a lot of work, but all the work that I've been doing is like I wasn't applying it because I was grinding and I wasn't moving through grace. And I felt like all the opportunities that God was placing in my lap, I dare not me say no. Let me sign up for this. Let me sign up for that. And when I lost out on that scholarship, someone said it's all about timing, and it's all about God's timing. And I was like, God's timing, God's timing. And I was able to receive that, as well as receiving that I was leaning to my understanding and not leaning to God understanding. So, which comes to this T chart, the lie and the truth. So, anytime I begin to teach anything, a science concept, or if I'm doing a workshop, whatever, I always go through some emotions and to where it's like I'm talking myself out of it. And I'm like, what? So I created this T chart. And so the first, I'm saying, you are all over the place. And I was like, wait a minute. What's my truth? You're just nervous because you're about to start sharing something great. So I had to flip it. Who am I to do this truth communicate? So this is me, another, like I'm going through the motions. I'm like, what? And I said, I'm a child of God that has been doing this for over 20 years. It just looks different. I feel overwhelmed and nervous. That was the lie. My truth is, you're no longer people pleasing. You are pleasing God, and all is well with you. So I had to learn how to identify when it came up. I had to identify, wait a minute, is this a lie or this is a truth? And so I had to be proactive. I said, okay, I'm a teacher. I got to write this out so I can see it for myself. The last thing was so much I want to say, but it is not clear. But then it's like it is clear because I'm partnering with God, because I'm not leaning to my own understanding anymore. It's trusting God with every little thing. And sometimes for me, that has been hard because, again, I grew up in an African household. And so your work ethic spoke more volumes than anything. So my work ethic is top tier, chef kiss, all of that. But I wasn't taught how to rest until I got sick. And normally I don't get sick. Normally I can push through anything. But when it started to mess with my mobility, I said, oh no. God is talking to me through my body, spirit. You need to rest. But I got to grind, but I say rest. But I got to grind, but I say rest. For I know the plans I have for you. The plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you hope and a future. And so this spring break has been a break that I needed in such a way where I didn't pick up schoolwork because I was about to plan with another teacher on a Sunday. And I sent her a message, said, you know what? I don't want to do that. Let me get to work and then I'll do that. I want to be free to just be still and allow God to just move through me and show me things. And that I don't have to take every opportunity, but you're giving me a glimpse of all the opportunities that are coming for me, because I was moving from a place of not just fear, but also lack. Because again, I grew up in an African household. And so my mother grew up on a farm. And so very frugal. And so anything we wanted, we did not get because she was very frugal. So here I am thinking, okay, I gotta hold on to everything. I can't share. I can't. It's like I became like a little bitty hoarder. And I know Andrea was like, what? And you have a detox business? I used to have a detox business where I would go into people's homes and I would just like I don't even know the words to describe it, but I was brutal. I'm like, you don't need this, you don't need this. Why you have this? I did all of the work, right? And so when I look and I see like all the pens and books that I have, I'm like, oh my goodness, I've become my own mini porter because I'm holding on. I'm holding on to so much and not allowing God to show me how to release it because I'm in that grinding headspace. I was in that grinding headspace. So once I started to trust in the Lord, and trust in the Lord for me has been, hey, I don't know what I'm doing, and I don't want to do this, and I feel like I have to do this. So when I felt resistant with something I didn't want to do, I knew that wasn't aligned to what God wanted me to do. So then that meant that I had to know how to say no. So moving forward, once I created this T chart, I began to do my own detoxification. And so I'm going to stop here. For me to begin my detoxification, I had to be still. And even when I had limited mobility, man, that was God showing me to be still. He was going to make me be still. But I was going to be still. If I couldn't move, I was going to be still. And that's what I've been experiencing. Relearning how to be still and know that God is God, no matter what. So I invite you to find some quiet time this week and to ask what old stories that need to be replaced with the truth of who you are. Because I'm still working through it, but I'm a lot better than what I was maybe a few weeks ago. And my shoulders is not as intensely tight to where I'm in pain, because now I can move my neck, but I got to do it gently because I'm still learning how to be still and take my time and be present with what's happening right now in this moment versus what I'm supposed to do tomorrow or what I didn't do. And that's it. Thank y'all so much. Any questions, comments? This is just part one.
Lots of heart reactions, Rebecca.
This is just part one. So come back for part two.
Well, Rebecca, thank you so much for sharing your truth with us and your journey. That is important. And the detox business, the reason I said, you have a detox business? Because community. After I got divorced, I moved out of my suburban home into a high-rise space because I wanted something different, and it was a minimalist space. So I had to get rid of a lot of things. So Rebecca came over to help me get my closet together and home together and took a lot of things to Goodwill. So I was just surprised when I heard that she said, "Oh, I'm a hoarder." I'm surprised and not surprised because I know doctors can be the worst patients, or hairstylists. A good hairstylist, supposedly their hair is never done. So I get it. So that's what I just want to share when she said that. That's why I was surprised, but not surprised. And Bryant has a question for you or a comment.
Okay.
Yes. Both Rebecca and Andrea, thank you. I think the beginning, all of the technical difficulties and the laughter, like that feels like church to me. That feels like a blessing of God. Like just, it's like when it goes right and when it's formal and it works, then there's the pressure for that to be that something that I'm not and that life isn't. So that to me felt healing immediately just to be. And I told Tia that like when there was a couple of weeks ago, when there's somebody talking about chickens making noise and dogs barking and we were all these things happening. I was like, I would rather be in that church. Um, so that felt good. And thank you, Rebecca. Yeah, it was. You said it wasn't clear. That was very clear and really, really, really helpful in a lot of layers that I won't go into, but that will stay with me. So thank you. That was a very healing and beautiful gift to share what you did. So yeah, very, very, very potent. So thank you.
Thank you. Again, I tell my students that we live on a planet Earth, and we're not held by anything. So we're surrounded by balls of burning gas that we call stars. And 70% of planet Earth is water and the other 30 is land. And so we're not submerged underwater, we're on top of water. And when I think about that, I'm like, oh my goodness, anything is possible. And I kept telling my students, anything is possible, but everything is starting here. And I realized over and over I was creating my own hell here. Not anybody, because I can't control nobody around me, but I can control myself in what I'm thinking and what I'm manifesting. And the expectation for God to do a brand new thing, I'm like, I wasn't expecting it because I was grinding, like grinding, grinding. And I'm like, wait a minute, I don't have to grind. Because if God says, I know the plans I have for you, then he knows the plans. He knows what 20 seconds is going to be as soon as I leave uh, this Zoom call. He knows, or she knows what's going to happen when I jump in the car. So it's me trusting God blindly and knowing all is well. So that's what I leave with y'all before I get into the second part. And I'm going to
I am going to use your T process. I am committed this week to writing more about what I need and what I want. And I think it was something to see you have your process on the paper of what your thoughts were and what it really could be as a surrendering. So, we do like pen and paper and all that kind of stuff. So I'm going to add that into my journal that I made with Serene Chaos, Lisa Tenney. So I'll put that in my journal as well.
Right, right. Oh, good. It's interesting because we have so many thoughts every day. So when you're able to separate them, it's like it gives you like the wait a minute, I can do this.
Right. It
Yeah.
gave you that tangible, visible thing, like heaven on earth, this physical thing on paper that I can see. And also, Rebecca, I want to say it's a benefit to hear from you because you're a science teacher and you get to do experiments. So when you talked about like the stars and the earth being water, I don't know that we I know that I don't always hold that in mind when I'm moving through. So thank you for offering that perspective. And Roz has her hand up.
Hey, Roz.
Hey y'all, and thank you, Becca and everybody. Yes, you're being a visual learner. Would you mind flashing your T chart
Yes, sure.
again? Because yeah, I meant to grab a screenshot of that. Thank you. It's very helpful.
Yeah, no
Thank you.
problem. Let me
While you're
uh
finding it, I echo what Andrea just said. I mean, she highlighted about that. Literally wrote that down. I was like, oh my goodness. Balls of burning gas we call stars. I was like, I know I learned that once upon a time, but to hear it in this context and what you just said was like, thank you. Thank you.
yeah, this was my thought process before I began. And I said, this is going to be my thing now to help me to navigate through things that I'm unsure about. Yes,
Yes, thank you
ma'am.
so much. Thank you. Powerful. Thank you, Becca. What, wait, almost got it.
Is that in the middle and quote in the quotation? Is that strong or study at the top of the T square?
Um,
It's like lie, truth, practice, and then on the line it's a word that starts with an S. It looks like
Story.
story. Okay, what's the
Mhm.
story? Okay,
What's the
thank you.
story?
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Alicia has a question.
Okay. Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for sharing your story today. I'm gonna turn my camera here. I really appreciate what you shared. I'm an educator as well, and a math math science person as well. Um, and I tend to think in structures and charts and that kind of thing. I think a question came up for me when you put the chart up, and your chart was lies and truth, and it seemed kind of binary.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what I mean by that, it was like it's either one or the other. And I wonder if there's a way to hold both. For instance, can I feel nervous and overwhelmed and also know that I'm loved by God and that I have something of value to share with, the community? Is it possible for both of those to be true and to hold both of those? That's the place where I have
And I want to
begun
say,
to move.
yeah, I want to say yes, but it's based on your perspective. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
for me, my perspective has been based on old stories that I've told
Mm-hmm.
myself or held on to. My
Mm-hmm.
perspective have been what other people have perceived of me as if that's my own truth. So I'm taking all of this baggage and I'm carrying it as if I have to carry it on my back.
Mm-hmm.
And so when I did the teacher, I'm like, oh, okay. I noticed that I'm still holding on to this. So let me flip it to know what I know to be true. So this is my truth. I don't no longer have to engage in that storyline anymore because it's no longer part of me. But I've been holding on to it for so long, it just felt like second skin. So if something happened, um, there was so last week was the final week for track. Oh, thank you, Jesus. And I didn't realize, and track is my favorite sport to coach. But I didn't realize how bad I needed this to be done. And there was a parent that was overstepping their boundaries. And it was not their fault, it was my fault because I didn't set clear boundaries. So what I found out what he was doing was he was holding practices behind my back. And I'm like, what? You're not even getting paid for this. And so then this thing rose up in me. He doesn't trust me to coach his daughter. He doesn't think I'm a good coach. All of these lies started to come up. And so then I started to shrink and feel like, oh, maybe I don't know how to coach. Maybe I've been doing this for 11 years, and so coaching track is not a thing for me anymore. So okay, well, I let him, all of these things, and I'm like, wait a minute, oh, that's not it. But it took me back to people pleasing, a form of people pleaser, because I was trying to please this parent and not set boundaries for this parent. And so instead of internalizing it, I had to look at it for what it was and say, oh, you're not a good coach. Yes, you are. You just didn't have clear boundaries. So it can be based on the binary, but based on your perception of whatever you're going through. Because
See,
yeah.
when I hear you share that story, what I hear is you honoring what was going on in you at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Like we have to start with where we are, and we
Mm-hmm.
can't. At least from my experience, I can't go from where I am and just force myself into the place I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
And I have to honor where I am and do like you were. What I hear you doing is you're okay, well, why do I feel this way?
Mm-hmm.
Versus well, I shouldn't feel this way. So
Mm-hmm.
therefore
There's
I'm
a
not
lot
going to,
to it.
therefore, I'm not going to feel this way. I'm going to
Mm-hmm.
feel this other way.
Mm-hmm.
And it's what I found is when you get beneath why you feel that way,
Mm-hmm.
that's where the gold is.
Mm-hmm.
That's where the transformation occurs,
Mm-hmm.
not in the, because I've lived for many, many years in this take the lie captive and, bring it under submission to Christ. Like, this is the way you're supposed to be. I should be this way, or I shouldn't be that way. And I found a gentler way to move in the world. The invitation that Jesus gave to us, come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest.
Mm.
Take my yoke and learn of me, for I am gentle. My yoke is easy,
Mm-hmm.
and my burden is light,
Wow. Mm-hmm.
and I will give rest to your weary soul. It's he's patient. He takes us from where we are to where he desires for us to be, but we have to be patient with ourselves in the process. Not saying at all that you're not being that. I'm just
Well,
sharing some
no.
thoughts that are coming up. But
As,
but it sounds like you are holding the tension between the two, because you have to start with where you are, and both are true. I am over. I at least again, I have been overwhelmed and nervous, and know that I have something of value to give.
mm-hmm.
And I can walk in the truth of both of those things,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't have to allow my nervousness and my overwhelm to be the end of the story. It actually becomes the catalyst for me to figure out the tools I need in order to better equip myself so that I can give what I have to give.
Mm-hmm.
Does that
Yes, ma'am.
make it? Okay.
Yes, ma'am,
Thank
it does.
again, thank you so much. I really enjoyed and appreciated everything that you
Oh,
shared today.
this is just part one. Wait. I got some jokes. Um,
Well, we have something in the chat. Oh, go ahead, Rebecca. Sorry.
oh no, you're good. You're good. Um, thank you, RTAM. Thank you. Um, the biggest thing is for me is being proactive in my thought life to be sure what I'm feeding on and what I'm pouring into myself. And Audrey was the first, I don't want to say first, maybe first person that I heard about how you feel in your body. And that was my first indicator. When it don't feel right, that means something is off. I'm not aligned to it. And I would bypass that feeling um, and keep doing the things I'm supposed to do. But I'm going against myself because it doesn't feel aligned to my higher self. So I'm going to stop right there because then I'm going to start talking about the other stuff um, and whatnot. And so I wanted to, I'm going to share and I'm going to share this for Andrea real quick. Okay.
Thank you. Keep going. Keep going. Right
Okay.
there.
Okay.
Thank you so much again, Rebecca. Um, See, it looks like it turned out well.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now it's the offering moment. And as you know, awakenings, we don't judge anything that you're giving here. Know that everything that you share with us is used for the highest purpose of the community, and Tia is always transparent about our giving and where we are. So we have this text to give option where you can support us easier, connect to Secure Give. You can text Awakening at 832-481-4434 to make a one-time gift, or you can set it up for weekly or twice monthly, whatever works for you. And again, every gift fuels our contemplative work, creating space to heal, renew, and inspire. So we are really appreciative of every gift that you offer financially, as well as any gift that you have to offer via a truth communication or serving in one of the volunteer areas that was mentioned earlier in the announcements. I know this hasn't been said lately, but also our community was founded on the idea that everyone has at least one truth communication within them. So if there's ever something that you feel like you want to share, compelled to share with the community, or God is talking to you and it just won't leave you, please reach out to Pastor Tia and she will sit with you and talk with you and help you through the process if you ever find that you would like to speak. So that is always an opportunity, along with our monetary gifts as a way to share with the community. And also for your gift can also be shared via Cash App at the $ Awakenings Movement, Venmo Awakenings Inc. And if you want to just go back straight to Secure Gift, we're awakeningsinc.org. And again, every investment is appreciated. Our March budget is $6,724. And right now our giving is at $4,734. So please give as so that we can meet all the obligations of those that we serve in the community.